Hello, everybody. This is MVP Kate here, and welcome to my video. This will be a talk series. I have a talk series, but I don't make a lot of videos of it. Um, but anyways, this conversation is going to be about autism spectrum disorder in school. So, hmm, well, it's different for everyone. Like, some excel really well in school, and some, it's not that they don't, but a lot of them struggle because some individuals on the spectrum have intellectual disabilities. I honestly don't know if I have an intellectual disability. I assume I do. I know for sure I have some sort of learning disability, though, or learning challenge. Uh, I assume I have an intellectual disability as well, because there are some things that are harder for me to learn than others. I was I was a few years behind with some things, but I gradually did catch up. I was in a special ed class back in high school, and what are my thoughts about it? There's pros and cons. There's a lot of cons, I can't lie. Some things I don't like about it, like, I'm gonna be real here. Um, One, because sometimes when you're in a special ed classroom, it makes the days when I was in it, sometimes I felt like I was more stupid. But I'm not. But you get that vibe. Now, having said that, nobody is stupid. Like, even the people who are um, more mentally challenged than me, I don't consider them stupid. Even if they are labeled the old term mentally retarded or mental retardation, I don't. You mean that word's not used anymore? I don't see them as stupid. Because we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we all have things that we excel in, or things that we don't. Even, no matter how severe they are. One of my biggest struggles was academics, fitting in socially, and accepting myself. Those were the biggest struggles that I had as a high school student. I had trouble socializing, but I played a lot of piano, and that was the big thing that got me to step out of my shell. I love music. Music is something that um, helps me a lot with everyday life. It's therapeutic, it's soothing, it calms me down, it makes me feel really good. And I love playing for other people because I just like making people happy. Um, Music was a big help with stepping out of my shell. Um, Music, uh, I love journaling, but I didn't journal as much back then. I journal a lot more now, though. Um, Another big thing that helped me a lot at school was solving Rubik's Cubes. Because not everybody knows how to solve Rubik's Cubes. I guess you could say back then I was a little mysterious. Like, I wanted to fit in with the people, but I didn't try super hard because I wanted to stand out and catch the students' attention in my own unique way, and the teachers as well. Hmm. So, yeah, when you're a special ed student, you gotta be clever. That's my biggest advice. Be clever, because there will be some people who will look down at you for being quote unquote special or whatever your minds think. you have to um, find ways to stand out. Like, it's tempting to want to fit in, but do something that will surprise others. Like, play an instrument, or solve a Rubik's Cube, or do something that's wicked to get the crowd to catch your attention. Um, would I say I'm an attention seeker? I was really introverted back in high school. I was super shy. I wouldn't exactly call myself a attention seeker, but I know deep down I knew there was a very small part of me that did wanted to um, socialize. But the best way to do it, in my experience, is just stand out and be yourself. I learned from a very close friend of mine. Um, well, she was actually my leader in a summer camp I went to for neurodivergent kids and teenagers. But she's also a really good friend of mine. And I was asking her one day, how do I be myself at school? Because I am always myself in camp. She said, "Oh, just be the same or just interact with everyone the same way you do in summer camp." And I did that, and that's one of the best things. um, and accept others, no matter what. Um, one of the besides like trying to fit in socially and the academic part, well, another con about being in special ed is that I can't lie, you're surrounded by so many dysfunctional kids. Some of them are in foster care. Some of them come from like really poor families, and I'm not talking about just people that are genuinely poor, but people who come from like alcoholic parents, and I'm just not saying all of them are poor, but majority of them are from the poverty line. Excuse me if I sound like a narcissist here, I don't mean to, but a lot of them are like really poor. A lot of kids who come from like drug addict parents, which is very sad. And um, there will always be, I'll tell you, almost every year, there will always be one girl, or maybe even two, that will be like the biggest drama queen in the freaking classroom. And I'm serious, this happened to me like almost every year when I was in high school, and a girl was in there, and a girl would just crush on all the guys and flirt with all the guys, sometimes even the same gender, which I have nothing against, honestly. I have a lot of friends who are in the LGBTQ plus community, but if I could be realistic here, I'll just say they don't know when to stop. Yeah, because they crush on like almost everybody, and you'll see it a lot in those classrooms. It's fucking annoying. And then they'd often get in trouble, and the process, it just keeps continuing on and on and on. Yeah. What is another downside about being in those rooms? Yeah, well, I guess another thing about it that's down is the way how like students outside may look at you. Because for me personally, I've had that experience. Um, not a lot. Most of them didn't, but there were the odd few. There was like one person who called me childish, which was really hurtful, and I got pointed out for my mental age one time, which was a big downer. And what else? Some people would be like, "You're smarter than that. Why are you in that classroom?" Like, you get a lot of these comments, especially if you're a high functioning person, and sometimes you just don't know how you feel. Um, it it puts you in an awkward situation, and it's hard to describe. Sometimes you want to feel pride for being a higher functioning student, but at the same time, you want to feel down because you want to be like the rest. That's the way I'll describe it. Yeah, there's like two sides of that. It's like there's a good side and there's a downside. And there's so much pressure. Like, you'd see all your neurotypical students, and a lot of them have like boyfriends and girlfriends, and like you get crushes too. And like when I was in high school, I had crushes too. And sometimes I'd crush on people that were like outside the SFL room, and you want to try as hard as you can just to like impress them, but you know deep down that you will not get there because of the situation that you're in, and there's very few people that will accept that. Like, I had those moments. I can't lie. As a 15, 16-year-old, yeah, I had those moments. Um, Nowadays, as a 21-year-old now, well, it's not so much of a big deal. Um, like, about guys and all, yeah, it's not so much of a big deal now because the older you get, you start to realize of what you want and do not want.